Hi YouTube, I'm here again with some more flea market finds for September 28th, 2013. Again, I didn't find very much today, but I didn't spend a lot on the items that I got, and I hope you guys like what I found. First thing on the list is this 1965 Fisher-Price school bus. It's in really good condition. It's faded and plastic's a little dirty, but I expect that from a toy that's probably been sitting in an attic or a basement for a number of years. I paid $1 for this bus, and I was expecting to pay $5 or $6. I was really happy that I had gotten this, and this is another one of those cool toys that's just not made like it was back then. And all the stickers and stuff are there. They might be a little faded, but I expect that, like I said. Alright, next Fisher-Price toy that I bought, but it doesn't have any of the people or anything to it, is the 1969 Family Playhouse. It's, of the two that this guy had, this one was in the best of shape. I don't believe any of the doorbells to any of these were ever broken. Just open the door and you can kind of see the kitchen. I'm going to open up the whole house for you guys to see what it looked like. Alright, here's the garage. The garage is not just bare. But here is the bedroom, I believe it is. One of the bedrooms. And the kitchen, and coincidentally, this kitchen, the floor in here is the exact same floor I have in my own kitchen, which is really a coincidence. Here is one of the other bedrooms of the house. I think this is the children's room. And here is the living room of the whole area. It definitely does resemble 1960s culture. I love that about it. Because my dad grew up in the 60s and he saw all these things. He was real young. No, I'm sorry. He grew up in the 70s. He was born in 67. But he did see a lot of changes. And my uncle was born in 1960. So he saw how houses were back in this time frame. I just love this house. It's just cool. It resembles 1969 home living and everything like that. I was expecting to pay a lot of money for this because it is the house, and the house is usually one of the toys that does well on eBay if it has all the pieces to it. I paid $3 for this house, and it was in the best of shape of the two. I mean, it's a little dirty, and like I said before, it was probably sitting in an attic or a basement for a number of years, and it was probably played with for years too, so I like that because I don't like things to be mint, like I've said before, because one thing happens to it and it's not mint anymore. Okay, these next items are very very holiday items. I did buy some holiday items to let you guys know. These are very common holiday items, and there are many of them out there, but if you see them and they're a decent price and you want the vintage stuff, pick them up. Oops. Apologize, I'm getting tangled up here. Okay. These are either 1950s or 1960s plastic electric candles. I picked these up for $2, the three of these, so I paid 66 cents a piece for these. That's not bad at all, considering it was in the cents. The one in the middle did not have a light bulb in it. I just replaced it with a bulb that I had in one of my Santa blow molds that you saw in one of my other hauls a few months back. And these all do work. Let me show you guys one without it falling. Now, you know what? Actually, I have both of my outlets occupied right now. I apologize, but all these do work, and they're in really good shape. And I like the old Christmas. I'm not going to buy any more of these if I ever see them, but I picked them up because I liked these, and I see these in antique shops all the time during the holidays, and people want $5 for them, and I'm like, no, I'm not paying that for it. So I got these for 66 cents again, and I'm really happy with them because I've been wanting them. And my grandparents had these growing up, and just a cool reminder of them. Alright. The next two are the exact same thing, only they're bigger, like they would go on a mantle. This is the exact same thing. No, I'm not going to go that way again. This is the same thing, but it also is lit up with 8 lights in it, which I really think is cool. You know, I'm just going to unplug this one thing because I'm not using it right now. I'll just show you how it looks, and I apologize, my camera is not very good. When you think of that, that's going to look great in my window during the Christmas holiday season. This I paid $1 for, and I'm excited about that because, again, people in antique shops think just because there's more lighting to it, it's worth more money, and that's not really the case, unfortunately. So I paid $1 for it, and I'm excited that all the bulbs work in it because most of the time the bulbs never do work, and I have to replace them, and that costs money, and I don't like to do that. Alright, the next one is actually my favorite of all of the plastic candles because it's got color. And I like the fact that this has color light bulbs in it. Excuse me, lit bulbs. Alright, let me show you guys the colors in this one. One of them does not work, and I believe it's the purple one. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's the red one that does not work. This one was also $1, but I think this one was the one that's cracked, but you can't really tell that it's cracked. And I like the fact that it's got colored bulbs in it. Case in point, with all these light bulbs, you got to be real careful with these small light bulbs because if this thing falls over, the filaments in these small bulbs are really sensitive, so one fall and the light bulb's gone because the filament was so sensitive and it broke. So you got to pay more money for them. But other than that, if you can manage to keep these in good shape and make sure they don't fall, you'll be fine and not have to pay so much money for these bulbs. Alright, last Christmas item that I picked up, or at least I think this is vintage, I don't know for sure. Apologize. Alright. This is a 1950s or 1960s Christmas tree topper. She's in really good shape, there's no tearing to anything. She does not work, unfortunately, but that's okay because I'm not really putting this on a Christmas tree or anything. But she's just pretty cool, and I really did notice that she was vintage because of the material her head is made of and the feel of her head. It's kind of a hard plastic. I've never seen any angels like this, but there's so much Christmas stuff out there I don't know a lot about. Oops. And it's just in really good shape, and for $1, why not pick it up? And so I did. Alright, these last items are fairly large, so I apologize if there's a glare because they're made of ceramic and they have a clear gloss finish to them. So, bear with me. Okay, this is a 1957 Greek goddess ceramic wall art. I picked this up. I didn't know it was dated 1957 when I picked it up. It just looked interesting to me. And they say the time when you see something, the time is, I'm sorry, I'm messing up this whole thing. I think it's the time, never mind. Anyway, they're in really good shape. There's no chippings on them whatsoever, and this is the goddess. I don't know what goddess this is, but I assume this is Greek mythology, and I know in some of the videos that I've seen on YouTube that a lot of decorators back in the 50s and 60s had Greek and Roman mythological creatures as art back in those days, and it was just a really popular motif. I don't know really much about the value, but I will tell you how I found out it's 1957. I apologize if it's not gonna show you the date right away. Let's see. I'm really sorry. My camera, when I use the light, is extremely bright. There we go. Alright, it says December 4th, 1957, USA. I wish I had the room in here to put them up because they are actually pretty cool now that I've got them. Let me show you guys the other one. This one right here is, I don't know the Greek gods or goddesses, but they're just really cool looking. I mean, when do you see this kind of stuff anymore? It's just really interesting stuff. I really wish I did have the room in here because I literally, over the past few months, I have stockpiled and I have been running out of room and I've been having to improvise. Thing is, I think I'm a hoarder of all this stuff because I always manage to find ways to fit all this stuff in here. It's fascinating to me how much stuff I can fit in here and still have a closet full of stuff. Anyway, if you guys have any questions or you guys have any comments about the two 50s Greek goddess wall art, please let me know because I would really like to know what these are. Thank you for watching.